They say university makes students, here students make university. So with the slogan of Think Big, I, Himanshu Kaushik, your host of the day, would like to welcome you all in today's webinar on exploring the role and opportunities of graduates in education. And before we move on, I hope that you are doing good, safe, sound, happy, and healthy at wherever you're taking this session from. So basically, today we're going to learn all the opportunities we can have while studying the education, like all the courses that are offered under education stream. And for that discussion, we're having our expert who have joined us. Please welcome Dr. Vijay Kumar. He is a professor and a deputy dean from Department of Education in lovely professional university. And he is having more than 21 years of experience in the field of teacher education already. He has completed his MA in economics, MEd, UGC NET. He's qualified. And after that, he's done his PhD also in education. His areas of expertise are educational research and statistics, measurement and evaluation, and education technology as well. He has guided more than 78 dissertations at MEd and MPhil level and 8 theses already at PhD level. And presently is guiding 8 PhD students. He has published more than 125 research papers in different national and international referred journal and books also. And I mean, it's just list is going on. And he also has edited 3 books. And he's presented more than 40 papers in different national and international conferences and seminars as well. He also has remained in the administrative position for last 17 years in different capacities, for example, as officiating principal, vice principal, HOD, and presently he's taking care of School of Education as deputy dean. And as head, he already had led the teams of faculty members ranging from 15 to 40. He has been instrumental in successfully designing the curriculum of various programs at School of Education in lovely professional university, and through the conduct of curriculum development and review workshop and boards of studies. And last but not the least, he already has organized 9 conferences till now, which actually includes EduCon in 2008, 9, 10, 12, and GTTE in 2017, RECO in 2018, and many others. And I just welcome you here, sir, with this. And it is a pleasure for us to be able to listen you in the session and get a lot of knowledge on the education stream and what all opportunities we can have. And with this, sir, I request you to please take over the screen.
Thank you, Himanshi. Thank you for inviting me for this webinar. So dear students, we have the topic for today, for the day, exploring the role and responsibilities, role and opportunities of graduates in education. So basically, when we talk about the graduates in education, this term is when somebody who is having the specialization for education. And that means that somebody who has done some uh, program specific to the education, that is in terms of B.Ed, integrated BSc B.Ed, and integrated BA B.Ed. Now, these programs are done by the different individuals depending upon the entry level, because B.Ed somebody can do who is already a graduate in any discipline, either sciences or humanities or the liberal arts, or he he is wanting to go into the field of teaching, and as a result he is pursuing the B.Ed after graduation. And at present, when as we know that it is a 2-year program, and somebody who is going to come through the B.Ed will be going to go into the teaching sector at the school level, and he can have the national as well as the international job situation for him. Secondly, we have the program of integrated BA, BSc B.Ed or BA B.Ed, which are generally the presently, as per the national education policy, the focused programs for teacher education. That is, that somebody going to school teaching should have a 4-year program, and that must be after the 10th plus 2. So the all the programs, either it is 2-year B.Ed or the 4-year integrated BSc B.Ed or integrated BA B.Ed, result into the same qualification level for the candidates. But the 4-year integrated programs allows for 1 year advantage, that the individuals save 1 year pursuing it in 4 years, wherein for B.Ed, somebody who is a graduate of 3 years, and after that he can go for the B.Ed program. So this is the streams or the ways in which the graduates in educations are produced through B.Ed, through integrated programs. Now coming to that, what type of careers teachers are, or these program students are allowed to get in. So most of the time we are focused upon that the teaching. Now how that teaching is going to come up across. Now this is again a scenario wherein we are going to understand that the different things that we have in the area of education that result into the profiles. So basically, we may go into the first profile, that is the teaching, which is general parlance. Somebody going to do the B.Ed program must be going to teaching only. Now, as we are living in the 21st century, the profile has changed. It is not just alone the teaching. We can move into different directions, which is coming up as a result of the space that has come across due to the development of technology and creeping it into our lives. That is the scenario. Now, today we have not just the physical teaching into coming into the picture, but we have also the online education space, and wherein the different roles are there. So whatever the teacher does in the physical space, that is done by by the person of graduate in education in the online space. So everything that is starting from giving the lessons, then or giving the uh, duties of for invigilation, doing the proctoring, assessing the examinations. So everything is available on through the online education space. So this is classroom situation. We are just working upon that the lesson delivery is there, or we are talking about in the sense that the clarity of the content is being given by the teacher, or he is evaluating the papers or the assignments that the students have submitted. Now herein the role is little bit more advanced, that starting of the lesson plans, how to engage the learner, how to evaluate the learner, how to explore, make him explore into the classroom. Now everything starting of contents, that how to present the content to the child. Now this all things are being developed with the help of the role of instructional designer, which helped in go into different forms, right? Like the storyboarding, the role of storyboard writer, or the content writer, or the video editor, or the audio editor. The roles are coming up differently. So these roles has become a small roles from the instructional design profile, but as collectively it is called as the instructional designer. Now being taking up the teaching as a profession from the physically point of view, we you must be knowing that the TGT or the PGT term, if you have gone through. Now, what does this TGT means? The TGT means that you are a trained graduate teacher. And when we talk about the PGT, the term is postgraduate teacher. Now, trained graduate teacher is a teacher who is eligible to teach the 6th to 10th classes, whereas the postgraduate teacher is a teacher who is eligible to teach the 9th to 12th classes. So this is the that apart from that, you will be requiring a postgraduate teacher in order to achieve the level of PGT. Otherwise, you will be considered for the post of TGT only. So this is the first thing that I would like to explain to you, that as the B.Ed degree is there, the B.Ed degree is making you eligible to teach from 6th to 12th classes. depending on if you have a postgraduate degree or not. So taking this into further, now what type of skill set is required for the teacher? The teacher is at present is most particular in all particular roles in the government sector or in the private sector must be a CTET qualified or a state teacher eligibility test qualified. CTET is Central Teacher Eligibility Test, and the individuals, those depends upon the school system or the board of affiliating board of the universities that are there in different states of India. They ask for the teacher eligibility test, either it is central level or the state level for recruitment for the posts. And second most, so this is the major requirement for which the person should focus upon. Then the second thing is that they require is the he must have a good understanding of child psychology. Then he proficient, should be able to use the technology in the classrooms, then have understanding of the Bloom's taxonomy in terms of teaching learning process, that how does it goes for, and finally must have a understanding that how these taxonomies of cognitive, cognitive, and affective domain are assessed, whether the different type of achievement tests or the performance based evaluations are possible, and he is able to do that in a efficient manner without any effort. So that is the again requirement from a teacher. So talking about considering the first thing, the CTET or the teacher eligibility test, what we call as, it is basically conducted by the Central Board of Secondary Education, and all the students who are wanted to become the teachers are eligible to take that test. And the person who is wanted to teach this or want to appear in this had to appear for two types of papers. Number one is paper one and number two is paper two. Now, as you are going to go for the B.Ed program, you will be appearing into the paper two. But additionally, because in some states, the B.Ed is requirement for even for the recruitment for the elementary teachers from the classes 1 to 5. So the paper one is also opted by some of the students depending upon the background of the state from which he is coming. So as a result, the paper one is related to the teaching of classes 1 to 5, whereas the paper two is the teaching of the classes from 1 to 6 to 10. So that is the requirement for the CTET, and we must focus upon that how to qualify the CTET. That is the requirement that the individual is going to focus upon. The second thing is that he must have a degree for your B.Ed for bachelor. If he is going for TGT, he must have a degree for bachelor level in sciences or arts, and he will be able to get the appointment for the TGT post. Whereas for PGT, he must have a postgraduate degree along with the B.Ed degree, and then only he can work as the teacher in the post for the classes of plus one, plus two from 9th to 12th. And the second important function for a teaching skill set is the communication and the computer skills. The communication is very important because if we are not able to put across our ideas clearly, and herein, as a teacher, we need to take care of the learners from different aspects. The learners can go into understanding of a particular content with respect to their thinking styles, with respect to their learning styles, and with respect to their IQ. It is all depends upon that how we communicate with this child. If the child is not able to understand the verbalism that I am using in my class, the content with the level of the learning or the level of the child, the teacher efficiency is utmostly important in that regard. Second is the computer skills. Now, computer skills is that using of different softwares that are there. if we are able to use the data entry, use the data analysis procedures, that which are the good things in the child with respect to his subjects that is there. So with that is only possible with the analysis of the data of the performance of the student in different subjects. Similarly, when we talk about that how to prepare the contents using of PowerPoint, using of Excel, using of the Word document, writing in them is the one of the basic skills of MS Office, and one must be able to use the advanced Excel as well as must be able to prepare the PowerPoints effectively. Now, second thing is with respect to this is use of the different softwares that may include the smart board, that may include the school management solutions like the software, school management softwares, and also the use of the different social media presence tools that what we talk about as web 2.0, that one must be able to use the YouTube. He must have a presence of LinkedIn. He must have a presence of Twitter. Must be able to use or show his computer mastery or content mastery with the help of the communication skills and the computer skills. That makes his task easier. So that is the again one of the major requirement of becoming the teacher. Then the important part, the child psychology. Understanding of the child psychology is possible when we are going into the B.Ed program, but learning it efficiently, making it useful in the day-to-day routine, because at present we are talking in the era of constructivism, which is the latest theory for learning, and most of the contents that we find around us is prepared in the sense that the students must be understanding the things in his social platform, making the learning coming up not just with the background that we have, but going it into a level that wherein it is expected that the student must have understood everything whatever he has been able to do in that particular class. So making the students handling more easier is only possible with the help of the knowledge of the child psychology, how the child is reacting, what is his attention span, how to make him learn, how to make him engage, how to make him explore, now how to take care of different individuals coming up with different backgrounds, coming up with different thinking styles, coming up with different learning styles. That is possible only when we are able to use the this child psychology in a proper appropriate manner in our classrooms. So this is again a very utmost important requirement of a teacher to understand the child psychology of the learner. Then we have the another thing is the ICT proficiency. Use of the ICT makes us more easier because when we are using, we are into the day when the child are already having the tablets, they are having the mobiles in their hands, they are using the internet, they are surfing through the Google, they're using the AI softwares. So that all makes the child more resourceful in terms of getting the different contents easier at his place on his PC or laptop. And if we are going into a scenario we are not smart enough, we are not more proficient than the children, then the children will be giving us plagiarized assignments. We must be able to have the understanding of creating things on the Excel, on the PowerPoint, on the Word, and we must be able to use the collaborative, not just the creation of the things, but also the collaboration that is possible with the help of the ICT. That must be, we must be able to use the G Suite and must be able to create certain kind of things on the social media in the form of that we are using different things in the learning platform for the learners. Further, talking about the Bloom's taxonomy, because day to day, when we are not just talking about, as I had just shared, today the student is coming up with the lot many gadgets in his hands. We are not allowing at present in the school the students to take along with their mobiles into the classrooms. But yes, the time has not is not very far when this is also being allowed. But the teacher need to be preparing themselves for that situation. So how those things are going to be catered must be when we are going to teach at the level of above the third level to the sixth level. If we are going to just teaching at the top topic level or the understanding, making the things more easier for the learner, we are not working at the Bloom's taxonomy. We need to make the things work at the level of applied to create level, and that will be the levels wherein the children will be able to get engaged into the class. Their social learning will help, their collaboration will help, their group learning will be helping. They will be able to use the field visits in appropriate manner to understand and learn the things, because these things will be more easier. Now making the virtual reality or the augmented reality work may also help, but the physical understanding, because when we are talking up in this era, we are finding out that the people at present are using the Google on a day-to-day basis, and as a result they are trying to make the information for them, for all different aspects at collaboration at one place, and making their assignments on the basis of that. So these realities are working in their favor, but yes, we need also to work in the sense that the persons are working, going into the field visits, working on the different projects. They are using the simulations to understand how the things will be working in their future. That will be important. Then the teacher role is understanding the learning process. If he is able to understand what the child is doing, why he is doing, and what is the importance of things that he must be coming back into the classroom situation in the learning form, that will be only possible if the teacher will be able to understand how the teaching learning process works. What is the calling, what it be called as that, the planning for the learning, what it called as the assessment for learning, and what we talk about the learning for learning. This all aspect must be understood by the teacher, and he must be able to work in the sense that how to make the learning fruitful for the learner. That will be only possible if he is understanding the teaching learning process, that what he need to plan before the lesson, what he need to do during the lesson, and what he need to do after the lesson. If he is working on these grounds, definitely he is going to work into the classroom better. Otherwise the handling of the students in the classroom is really becoming very difficult these days. Then the final aspects, we are not just evaluator for the tests, we are the evaluators for all overall. At present we are just giving the grades in the form of A, B, C, D, but what that grade system is subjective or it is objective. So the teacher must be able to create the rubric of performance as per the parameters for a particular activity. Either it is a field visit, or it is a role play, or it is a drama, or it is a debate system, or we are going into some kind of sports activity. We must be able to tell the child, yes, this is the rubric, and the sharing of rubric will help the child also understand what are the parameters on which he need to work upon, and how he need to work, and how he need to perform on those things, so as to make the children more happy with respect to their performance, because the clarity of the evaluation procedure is one of the parameter wherein the present system of examination is lacking, and we are not assessing the children on the basis of their performance. Just the subjective evaluation is there, wherein the biases of the teacher are also coming into the picture. So the making of the rubric is one of the important parameter. Whatever we are doing in the classrooms, whatever we are doing outside the classrooms, or whatever activity we are going to grade, the child must be able to have a clear cut understanding of what are the parameters of that, and what are the different levels in which the marks are going to be awarded, and how he can achieve the desired marks in a particular parameter. So he must be clearly, explicitly described for him that this is the expectation for him, that if he is achieving this percent of marks, or this is the kind of a satisfaction level from which he may be able to get this type of grades. So this is the preparation of rubrics, is again one of the skill that the teacher need to have. Then is the second role that we are talking about, is the online educator. The online educator, as we have earlier understood about the teaching, is the role into the online space, virtual role of the teacher. Now, all the roles that the teacher was doing in the real classroom, are coming into the online space. Now, how this is going to be there? He is now working as a teacher. He is now working as an explainer. He is now working as a problem solver. He's working as an assessor. He's working as a proctor. Everything is being done into the online space. Similarly, he is also doing. So this kind of a things again. The teacher in the online space is must be requiring the communication. He must be requiring the understanding of the child psychology. He must be understanding about the ICT skills, program. So all these things are possible, and the people, the things that the teacher need to work upon is that he need to teach the same things in the online space what he is expected to do in the physical space. But the teaching a group of students, when you are finding somebody on before you and the teaching somebody on online space, just like at present we are doing it, that there is no one sitting in front of me, but in spite of that I am presenting the contents and the presenting my explanation or the skills on a particular thing that we are demonstrating. So all these things is required when we are working in the online space. So these are some of the examples of the classes being conducted by the teachers or interns in their space for different topics, and they have created the powerpoints with the help of the software on my class. The things have been worked upon, and they have taught different classes on from history, from geography, from like that. And similarly, there is the requirement from the online educator role that you must be aware about the different softwares like Spedana, Google Suite, MS Office, similarly like Pro. Now these all softwares are making helping the child to work in the direction that he should be, and as a result, he must be working in the scenario that he is able to work in the required direction of the things that will be coming up as an online educator if he's already efficient in handling these softwares. But if he is not able to work in those directions, definitely he will be having some of the problems working in the area. Talking further, uh, I am giving you one example that how the students of the School of Education has worked, and they are making their profiles on the different platforms, and as a result making it happening for them that how the YouTube or the other platforms or the blogspot or like that or the other softwares wherein they can enroll themselves and work as a teacher educator or the teacher in these for school or even as a tutors for different subjects on the online space. Now this is the one of the students, those who have created the YouTube channel, and he had created and his working like that, and this is the channel he had. Or if I directly go into the channel, this is the channel by the Sampath, and he had uh, uploaded his videos created on different aspects. For example, the latest one that he had created some 1 year back is related to this. Now, this is the kind of the contents that the students can prepare. Now, and when we talk about the contents, yes, this is the way that how they will be able to work upon, and they when they learn at the School of Education, they are able to create their profiles on LinkedIn from different social media platforms on YouTube. They prepare their contents and post them on their blog spots and etc. The third role that we are going to talk about that is more prominently coming in these days and is developing very evolvingly and becoming a very good industry thing, and and the role of the teacher is coming up in a big way in that way, because it is the background information. Because at present we are talking about the curriculum planner, at times we are talking about the book writer, at times we are having the different companies, those who are creating the contents. Now for them, who is doing that? So that is the instructional designer, is the one who is working in this area. He is starting his function from the content selection to content organization to content analysis and making the design documents and finally putting into the storyboard, and then his start is of the skills coming up. So all this thing is the role of the content writer, and the people are working on the profile, work on that, and finally it is going into the storyboard writer, that role, both coming into the big way. And you will be finding everything from a company to not just into the education space, but also the different industries are working on this, that how their content is presented to the online media. And we are finding in that earlier there the people have the choices for the YouTube for uploading the content, but now since the attention span is decreasing and the young adults are more uh, learn more focused on having the short videos, so as a result we are finding it, the things are coming on Instagram and in a big way on different aspects. And as a result, how does this is going to further work? Now further, from the role of the content writer to the storyboard writer, the next stage comes up with the help of the video editor and the image editor or the sound editor. Now all these things functions are again coming up into the role and of the instruction designer, wherein he is going to put the images, put the videos, animations and audio into it, and integrate them all these into together in order to prepare the content that we are going to see in our day-to-day routine. And for this, he is using different softwares. At present, we are training the students on that, and they are using the Sound Pro, they are using the Adobe Photoshop Premiere, and in short, in order to create this content by doing the sound editing, photo editing, and the video editing in their places. So this is the way that how the instructional design is going to work upon by the instruction designers, and that is the role that they are going to play in the future, and they will be working in the scenario for a long period in order to see that how this evolving field is going to work upon. So everybody who is going to become a teacher is not just required to graduate in education, is not just required to that he need to take the class of 30 and working in that scenario, but he is going to work in different way, that how he is going to create the content. So that content he is creating and he is going to use that into the online space. Now I am going to show you one example of that creating of a YouTube by the student. Here is that drama. So this is the kind of a things that we are able to, our students are making in their uh, classes in order to use them as a group drama or documentary or role play. Now this all is done by the students, and they are making it as a video, as a present that they are, and they are uploading it on the YouTube. So that is the way that how the people are working in this area, and they are making it things working in their way. Now if I talk about that how these career options go into, so we may coming up that after the programs of graduates in education, you can qualify the CTET, you will be going into the teaching sector, working in the different schools, and then you may go into the higher education and the form of that you may pursue your degree of master or PG after doing this program. Then the options are going up in terms of administrative posts, after some time that you're working as principals, going in the role of vice principal, coordinator, and finally principal. Then we have the role of the curriculum manager in the uh, different online spaces like Vedantu, like Unacademy, like Topper, etc. And there where we have the roles of tutors, we have the role of curriculum manager, we have the role of the subject matter expert, etc. Now that is the way that how the edtech companies are working in, and it is providing us the role of proctor, your and the assessment expert, etc. Then finally we have the career option of going into the government and working as a lecturer in or the TGT in the different things. Now coming up to the school of education, that how we have come up, and this all example that I have taken up as in the career profile, we have been able to achieve in all different directions that our students are working. And in the last 2022 or there's this 2023 passing out batch, those who have graduated from the school of education, the 90% of the students have qualified the CTET. Those who have come up with the state TET or the CTET, this is the pick of the CTET, those who have qualified. We have achieved the 90% success rate in qualifying for our batch students of 2023. This is the placements of the 2023 that students have come up in big way in getting employment in different schools. Apart from this is the those who have gone into the placements. Apart from that, those who have gone into the higher studies at in different universities. These are the students, those who have worked in the different edtech profiles in the, as a subject matter experts, as the the role of assessment experts, curriculum managers, etc. in different companies like Baiju, Textbook.com, SwiftLearn, Stones to Milestone, Unacademy, Vedantu, Topper, then Acad Alley, etc. So this is the that how we can work in our curriculum, our total program, so that we may be able to work in the futuristic career options of the school of education, and we are allowing our students, preparing our students, motivating our students to go into different profiles depending upon the requirements, depending upon their aspirations, that what do they want to go for and how do they want to go for. The school of education is providing the platform to make your roles coming up in the physical space, online space, and at the backstage for the preparing of the 21st century students. So thank you. With this, I complete the presentation for today. Over to you, Himanshi.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this session. And I just now want to request all the students, if you have any query, you can just post in the Q&A box or in the chat box, or you can raise your hand so that we can allow you to talk to our expert here. Sir, one thing, when I was listening, I mean, you've given all the career options in the education and the field. So let's say one who has not entered in education, for example, who has not done B.Ed, let's say, and have done any other field. I'll just take an example of BSc Biotechnology. If somebody has done BSc Biotechnology and wants to do masters in the field of education, so would there any be scope for them also? And if yes, then how they can proceed with that?
Himanshi, it is like somebody not doing the graduation in education but want to do the post graduation in education. Right. It is required that everybody, those who want to go into the field of education, must firstly go into a degree, graduation degree in the program. So just like you have highlighted the BSc Biotech, so since this person has already graduated from one degree, so he must be doing another graduation degree, that is the B.Ed, for 2 years. So he has to enroll himself for B.Ed program, and then he will be able to, after completion of the B.Ed program, he will be going into the Masters of Education program. That's what you are talking about, the postgraduate program in education.
Right.
Direct entry is not there, but another way out is there, that he may go for integrated B.Ed M.Ed program. Right. If he has done his masters in biotech, then he can also use that program for going into the field of education, wherein we have the bachelor's as well as master's integrated, and he is saving 1 year by doing that.
Okay. And so all the scopes and opportunities that one gets when they enter, I mean, when they do direct graduation and postgrad in education would be similar to, I mean, would be same to all those who have not done, if we take this same example, so would all the opportunities be available to them also who has not done graduation or post-graduation in the field of education?
No, the opportunities are for only those who have done the graduation in education, because it is the regulated area. Either it is the school education from at any level. So, or if we talk about the edtech companies, therein also they prefer the students, those who are coming with the bachelor's in education or masters in education program for online educator role, the school sector in the physical space. In both the spaces we need to work in the graduate in education. Further, when if I talk about the role of the instructional design, the learning theories, the child psychology, or the softwares may be learned by somebody else also, but the basic feature of the how to present the content to the learner, understanding their styles of learning, that will be only possible when you have a degree in the field of education. Otherwise it will not be possible. So we needed to have a graduate degree in education, only then we will be able to go into these profiles. Other persons will not be able to be considered for this post, and if there will be lot of challenges for them to continue in this career.
Right, so definitely. And with this, sir, I just want to say thank you again for giving this presentation, for coming in, crediting your time. And this session will be uploaded on YouTube. So if anyone has missed any of the part of the session, you can rewatch that on YouTube and on our site as well. That is lpu.in/webinar page. So with this, sir, I now would want to take your permission to wrap this session up. Shall I?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for invitation.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And with this, I, Himanshu Kaushik, take your leave now and meet you soon in the next webinar. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much for joining in.